Hello everybody, welcome to Friday, August 21st, 2020, and we're going to look at finishing our experiment. We're going to look at making a graph, and we're going to top everything off with a conclusion and also submitting things on Schoology today. The drops of the Penny Lab is going to be due on Monday, so make sure that if you don't finish in class on Friday that you are finishing everything that you need to over the weekend for Monday. Without further ado, let's jump on into it and see what we've got happening, going on with our stuff here. So if you take a look at our drops on the Penny Lab, you should have your data table filled out. If not, make sure that you do that because today is the absolute last day to get some numbers down since it is Friday. We're particularly going to look at the graph, which you can access via the link in the document itself. I'm going to pull it up here, and it's already set to make a bar graph, and here's how you do the bar graph. It's going to pop up with this screen here. You do not need to change any of the settings on this first page, just click next. Here's where you're going to add stuff. You're going to need to add a title. Your title should probably be whatever is your question for step 1. That makes for a wonderful title. Your x-axis today is going to be trials. Your y-axis, that's the one that goes up and down, that is going to be the number of drops that you have. Font size, I usually like to make it a little bit bigger, at least a 14 or a 15 for the font size, just so you can able to see it. For the number of items, you're going to have 3 bars for a day because you're going to have the root beer bar, you're going to have the Sprite bar, and you're going to have the other bar going through it, and you're going to have your labels here. If you want to change the color of the bars, here's how you can change the color of the bars. I'm going to make mine blue for right here. The group label is going to be the liquids, and actually up here I misspoke. Up here where it's the x-axis, that's actually going to be the liquids, and the group label is still the liquids. And here where it says item name, you put your first thing that you tested, root beer, and then for value, put how many drops you had. We had, apple juice. Let's say we had 24 of that, and I'm just making up these numbers, so do not think that these numbers are correct. And then Sprite, let's say had 8. And that's all you need to do. You're going to have 3 bars. Each one is going to be labeled as root beer, apple juice, and Sprite. In this case, they're all going to be the same color because we don't really need to separate those out quite yet. We can get away with one color. You can click on next. For this one, we really don't have to touch anything. I like to bump the font size up, so I put that at a 14. You should really just leave the fonts as the original font because some of these get really hard to see, especially determined on the size. So I usually just keep it normal. It's more than enough. Don't change the weird colors because, boom, you'll get everything listed as here. You'll have clearly your axes labeled. You got the number of drops on the Y here. It'll automatically scale it for you, which is a nice positive. You'll have each one of the liquids clearly shown across the bottom, and all you have to do is save that image, and you can then post it in your Google document, or you can copy and paste it into your Google Doc. Either saving it or copy and pasting it, either one will work. And that is how you're going to do your graph. You can just put it right below the data table here. Step 6 is your conclusion. So you're giving me whether or not your hypothesis was correct and your reasoning why it was either incorrect or correct. What happened to not have the numbers go the way that you thought they would go? Did the bubbles actually have an effect on it? Did the stickiness allow it to stick to the penny better? Whatever you think was the cause of it, you're going to say my hypothesis was correct or incorrect, and then you got to give that reasoning. Using the reasoning because I was right, because I knew what I was doing, that stuff does not count. It has to be something that you did during the experiment that caused something to show to allow you to say that with confidence that everything was there. And once you're done, you need to make sure that you submit on Schoology. I guess I can show you how that would work. It would be in the this week's folder of 17 to the 21. You click on Friday down here. It's going to be the same assignment. So when you open up the assignment, now, I'm not going to be able to show it from the teacher side of things, but over here where it says in progress for me, you are going to have it say my document. It's going to come across with a giant blue bar that says your name on it. And then at the very right hand corner over here where my mouse is wiggling around, there will be a white button that says submit assignment. Or maybe it just says submit. Like I said, I don't see it from the teacher side of things. I just know it's on this corner over here. You click that, it'll say that it is submitted. You'll be good to go. You'll know that you've submitted it because if you go to the folder here, this little grayed out check mark that says must make a submission should be checked green and say submitted. If you get a green check mark, that means everything is good to go. With that being said, we're finished running down what you're going to be doing on Friday, the 21st. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to email me. But otherwise, finish everything off for Monday. By Monday, you'll turn them in, and I'll start looking through them, and we'll see how well we were able to complete our first lab and our scientific method process. Take care. Signing off.